Welcome, I am a llama. The CS2 float system is awesome. It makes almost every single skin unique, but can also screw you over when opening cases. You get something that would otherwise be good, but it's battle scarred-ish. But every once in a while, you get a battle scarred skin that actually looks a whole lot better than its factory new counterpart, which is one of the reasons I love skins so much. So here's the top 10 skins that look better in battle scarred than factory new. Also, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated if you enjoy. Before we get into it, I want to thank this video's sponsor, Skin Search. Skin Search is the best place to find the best prices possible on the CS2 skins you love. It was created by Sparkles to help the community find their dream skins. They will automatically search all the largest marketplaces for the lowest prices available. And if you come over to the inventory tab, it will display a ton of information that your Steam inventory does not, including my favorite, the prices of your skins on different marketplaces in a ton of different currencies. All this is not even mentioning that Skin Search also has the best and easiest trade-up calculator I have ever used. Highly recommend you check them out, link is in the description and the pinned comment. Huge thanks again to Skin Search for sponsoring this video. At number 10, I gotta put the Black Nile. More like a gold Nile. That was the worst thing I've ever said. Yeah, anyways, this thing in low float is a pretty normal skin considering it's called the Black Nile, but when you get into the higher floats, it slowly becomes more and more gold. This kind of reminds me of the game Getting Over It, where as you beat the game over and over again, your pot gets more and more gold. Yeah, that was a weird game. Back to CS, I used to use a Black Nile, and it's a fantastic skin, so go buy one. Or don't, I don't really control you. Number 9 is going to be the Death Grip. Insane transformation on this one. We go from mid skin that I wouldn't usually use to a sick pattern of bones that, in my opinion, looks way better than the low float version. This is the kind of creativity I like to see in skins, and is one of the things that makes CS skins so special compared to almost every other game out there. This gets 2 thumbs up for me, if I had thumbs, but I don't, because of course I am a llama, I have hooves. I gotta hire the monkeys from 2008's Madagascar 2 Escape to Africa. Alright, at number 8, it's gotta be the Glock Offworld. This is a skin that was specifically designed to look better in battle scarred, and I'd say mission accomplished. I actually used a battle scarred version of this for a year or two a while ago, but traded it for a Glock Moonrise, a non-star pattern because I couldn't find one. But anyways, my favorite detail is the skull that slowly gets scratched into the gun more and more as it wears. And it might just be me, but this skin gives me Borderlands vibes. Not that I've played the game or anything, but I've seen people play it, so that counts, kind of, right? I don't know, but I remember watching a video about this skin that I wasn't able to find, and I learned that the creator thought it was funny the factory new costs more than the battle scarred because the battle scarred looks better, but like, yeah, the battle scarred's gonna cost less even if it looks better than the factory new, because the factory new is more useful for trade-ups. Moving on. At number 7 is a skin I never thought was gonna make this list until I took a closer look at it. The battle scarred USPS Cortex cooked. The factory new version of this skin has always been decent but not top tier, but the battle scarred is moving into great skin territory for me. I was not at all aware of how good it looked until going through a ton of skins for this video. I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was gonna be another skin like the AWP Aethris where it looks good in battle scarred but it wasn't better than its low float counterpart, but clearly I was wrong. I will allow arguments on this one, but I think at least a lot of us can agree that this is better than the factory new. What else is there to say? I've got a feeling that this next one is going to piss some people off, but at number 6, it's going to be the Blackamov, and I know, it's really low. But yes, the Blackamov is cooler than a low float Asimov. Real Blackamovs start at a float of 0.96, so don't get scammed with something less. Fake Blackamovs can be cool, but we're here for the real ones. I could have put it higher, but there's a lot of ops on this list, so I'm just gonna leave this right here and let's just not talk about it anymore, okay? It'll be our little secret that the Night Terror is above the Blackamov on this list. Not because the Night Terror is better, no. It's just the gap between the factory new and the battle scarred version of this skin is massive. The battle scarred just is so much better. The Dreams and Nightmares case was kind of a disappointment, only being propped up by the beautiful butterfly knives in this case, but people seem to really like this thing, especially in battle scarred. In factory new, it's kind of a gross black and red that doesn't really work at all for me, which is strange because red and black typically look sick together. But when this thing gets into higher floats and turns into a pinkish purple that I think fits the skin way better. Similar to the P90 Death Grip, I would never consider using this thing unless it was battle scarred. Yeah, this thing just sucks in factory new. I don't know how else to put it. The skin creator is obviously very talented, it's just the factory new version is not for me. Alright, for number 4, I gotta go with the P2000 Imperial Dragon. It's not the largest change in the world, but damn is it tasteful if you ask me. In factory new, you have this orange color, but as the float gets higher, it gets pink around the edges, and ooh, it's so nice. It's not massive or anything, like I said, but it's just enough that I think it looks way, way better in battle scarred than it does in factory new. I would absolutely be rocking one of these if it wasn't on a P2000. But it is, so nobody uses it, which is very sad if you ask me. The skin is great. I keep saying this, but I really don't know what else to say. This is just a really solid skin. Alright, the first podium spot today is going to go to a fairly recent skin actually. The AK Inheritance looks better in battle scarred than factory new, and you can fight me on that because I'd win. Whoever came up with the idea to model a skin after porcelain like this is a genius because it works way better than it has any right to. The way it cracks up instead of just the paint getting rubbed off is amazing and gives the skin more character if you ask me. Again, this is the kind of creativity I like to see. Some of the cracks even reveal gold underneath, which is perfect because I'm going to give the battle scarred AK Inheritance a gold star for being a superstar. Yeah, that was kind of cringe. Anyways, this is the hill that I have decided to die on today. There's a reason the battle scarred AK Inheritance still sells for $100. For number 2, I gotta go with the Black Prince. So the Prince is float capped at 0.6, and true Black Princes start at around 0.58, so it's only the highest float princes that get to call themselves one. Oh, and Sparkles, if you're watching this, another really cool video idea would be trading up for some super high float skins like the Black Prince. That would be super cool, and I don't know who else would do it, so that's why I'm calling on you. There are only 21 of these registered on float right now, one of which is owned by my friend Fief, so this thing is very, very rare. Also, beyond the whole Black Prince, the Prince is just a super interesting skin in itself. The text on it reads, "Peace be with thee," and the design takes inspiration from St. Mark's Basilica in Venice. I've actually been to St. Mark's Basilica myself, but I could not have told you that's where the design inspiration came from. A Steam user named Boarding made a fantastic guide if you're interested in finding out more. I don't just want to plagiarize off of his work, so I linked it below. They did not need to go this hard with this skin. This is my favorite op skin and a top 3 skin in the game for me. But it's not number 1 because you already know what number 1 was going to be clicking on this video. Or maybe not, I don't know. It's the Desert Hydra True Black Scope. What can I say about this thing that hasn't already been said? I will be the first to admit I have trashed the Desert Hydra in the past, but even I cannot deny the supreme perfectionness of the Black Scope Desert Hydra. Not only does the scope change colors, but it keeps the intricate design on it. What more could you possibly ask for? The Desert Hydra is also float capped at 0.6, but instead of a true black scope being 0.58 like it is on the Black Prince, it is 0.59 and above, so this one is even less common to get than the Black Prince. But there are way more Desert Hydras in existence than Princes, which means there are more overall, with 57 being registered on float. Being honest, it is stunningly beautiful. I think I'll quote one of my friends to end it. "The Desert Hydra would be dead to me if it wasn't for the black scope." Well said, well said. That's number 1, so that's all I got for you today. Don't be afraid to yell in the comments if you disagree with me. I probably won't ban you. Well, looks like you made it to the end of the video. We are back to regularly scheduled programming. Last video was kind of a test, you know, testing the waters. It did flop, so I'm gonna stay away from that kind of content, but thank you to everyone who said I did a great job with it. As for the case, I spent $75 on cases and gained back about $8.20. Yeah, this is not going well. That's enough to buy this bowling pin water bottle. I always say this, but why does this exist?